Newbies are
Yeah, like
cheesy.
It's it's like, but he played. I mean, he played to win, and that's honestly what I feel like you have to do to be successful in StarCraft 2. Period. So
Well,
here
it'd
we
be
are.
one thing if that was a flash in the pan. So if that was his one win and he did do a couple of cheeses and it worked, okay, we don't talk about him because we move on. But he's come back another MLGs, made deep runs. He's a consistent top performer on the ladder, which I know there's a lot of those guys, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but he does it across tournaments. Iron, Squid. I know I'm forgetting some. I'm not the historian of Goswser's career, but I do know that there's been a few other tournaments where he's really impressed people. And now, competing in Europe, I think this will be the year where that'll get more renown. People will see that on a larger scale.
I'd agree. I would agree. And, I keep in mind, like, my defense of Goswser in that best of 5 versus Polt is that, in 2 of the games, he definitely utilized early aggression to, and we're not talking like pools at crazy times. We're just talking about, great Baneling timings. And then he won a beastly match versus Polt in more of a macro-centric game. So, obviously much different being a ZvZ. And
well, the untold story there, too, is that was in the era where Terrans were going, like, 1 Marine in a bunker, 2 Hellion, 3 command center, double engineering bay, 5 barracks, all tech lab and reactor. And it was like, oh, wow, Roaches showed up. I'm dead. You're such a cheesy jerk. Like, it's not all on Goswser's shoulders. It's not honorable to let a Terran get away with that. That'd be like letting a Protoss quadruple Nexus and make 4 Robos and then hit you with like a 9-minute 4 Colossus timing or something like that.
Man, hate that.
Yeah.
Both players throwing their hatcheries down with Goswser just a few seconds ahead. Not really going to make that big of a difference here. But obviously much more standard ZvZ opening for both these players as we saw in game number 1. If you've just joined us, we do have Goswser up 1-0 over Jaedong, where Jaedong attempted to go with a very early pool, but the aggression was stopped short. And ultimately it was a steamroll after gaining that early advantage.
Yeah, it was interesting. We saw the Roach Run go down, and immediately you and I started talking about, like, what is this? Before the Evolution Chamber, why I was doing this. But he knew. He had speed, he had Lings, he had the Baneling S. All that was missing was a bunch of Roaches, and then he added Lings behind that because they can close the distance between point A and point B much faster, made a bunch of Banelings in front, and with the area effect damage against those Roaches, while, yes, Jaedong was doing everything he could to split them, they were still contributing that little extra punch to the fewer number of Roaches that tipped the scales in favor of Goswser and allowed him to capitalize there. And when you get behind in ZvZ, it's so hard. I mean, we saw Jaedong was able to equalize the drone count at the cost of 30 supply deficit in army. So it's GG at that point. It just took a little longer to play out.
Goswser gets a couple of Lings in here. Gonna get a scout. There should be 2 Lings popping on here in just a moment, and there they are. And look at that interception by Jaedong, trying to get in there, see if he can munch away. But we'll, important things to get from this: have guys on gas even after the spawning pool is researching speed, which will sometimes indicate a quicker lair. Same thing is happening over here for Goswser, so he gets to kind of mirror that with his opponent, knowing exactly what he's doing. And there is a Baneling Nest.
Jaedong might want to return the favor. His mechanics, his micro is phenomenal, so this is kind of falling into swing with his sweet spot. It's where he's really good. It's going to just kind of, I mean, they're both settling in. As you pointed out, they're both doing it. So, I mean, look at the production tab, even the same number of Zerglings coming out. Speed is about the same. It's so far, the truest sense, a mirror matchup. But do you get aggressive with this, or is that Baneling Nest more defensive? That's going to be one of the questions we're going to have to ask ourselves and then see play out, because there's a very big difference. There's 20 Lings coming out versus a guy who makes 10 Lings but makes 5 Banelings.
Right. And I mean, defensively, I think Zergs will tell you, like, you just have to have that anyway, just in case that swell of Zergling comes out and you don't see that happening behind it. So Goswser will throw down at least that 1 spine crawler. I heard some Banelings more.
I did too. Actually.
Oh, there's one right there. I see it. The queen was. Oh, there's another one right there. So he's going to go in, though. Jaedong with speed now. He will only have the speed advantage for a little bit. He's going to get killed here on his exit. Oh, such a slick little thing. And then he eliminates that 1 Baneling. That's really, really nice control.
Good
and he's going to do it a second time.
Really good control. I mean, you can lose every one of these Zerglings, and again, they're fairly disposable. As long as they get that information, that their lives would not be lost in vain. And he sees no lair. He sees no roaches. He doesn't see the 35,000 Zerglings poking out. So he says, okay, we're both doing a macro game, and I think that's what Jaedong wants to see, especially after losing game number 1 to a timing attack. He has to look at that and say, bravo, sir, you caught me off guard. Let's see if you can do that when I've got speedlings running around the map, I've got overlords everywhere, that kind of stuff.
The baneling does manage to get most of those Zerglings, but that last Zergling gets in there, sees that the lair is on its way. Other than that, doesn't get any additional information except for that second gas taken inside the main.
Yeah. And it's a big deal. I mean, you can see the Spire going down for Goswser. We saw a Roach Warren put at the front of the natural for Jaedong with the lair that could have perhaps been, it might have been like a cell, like, hey, look, I'm going Roaches at the front. It's part of the SimCity. And then a Spire behind. But he's committing to it. He's getting +1 range attack. He's got Roaches coming out. Actually, as I say that, I realize I've got the color switch. It's Jaedong.
Yeah, Jaedong.
That has a Spire, and it's Goswser that has the Roaches coming out. So there is that classic competition here, Mulus versus Infestors. And honestly, my favorite goes towards Mulus in this.
See, I mean, I think in HOTS it's going to be definitely more in favor of the Mutas, but man, that right hit of the fungal, like, I don't know. I have very little success with it.
Well, here's why I like it.
Why?
Okay, because the Mulus are not, they're not attack or even really any kind of, I mean, you can't. When the Infestors pop out, you got to be gone. But what the Infestor cannot do by itself is go across the map when there's Mulus out there, because you put individual Mulus alone, they start pecking away at them. If you want to fungal them, fine. There's like 9 more behind that, and it's 20 some odd fungals. You know, it gets crazy. So it never plays out that way, because the Zerg goes, oh, okay, I can't move out. You got Mutas. So then they expand. They take more risks, like double Evo while going Infestors and Roaches themselves. That's where I like it. When you just go Infestor, you're blocked off to your corner. If you can get to the other side, if you can like Nidus Worm it or sneak around,
that's a great point.
It's sick.
And we are going to see 8 Mutas pop out immediately. That was almost all of the minerals and gas that he was banking. But Jaedong also got up his third base while he got the cancellation over here on this side. Now 5 Infestors are coming up, +1's going to be finishing up. Jaedong has some fantastic map presence with both of the towers being taken. Overseer watching that third. And the Mutas are going to be popping out here. In fact, they're already, there they are, making their way over.
Wait,
across the map.
I'm smelling something. There's 2 Queens coming out as well as Roaches, and no attempt at taking a third again. I want to see if there's going to be a Nidus Worm.
You think he's...
A Nidus Worm or a Creep Highway, or he just walks, he slow walks the Queens across. That number of Queens right there, that is not passive. That is not for your economy. He is coming right now.
All right, he's going to do it. I mean, at that point, then you have to sacrifice? What if he just comes back? There's, I guess there's spores there, so he can't really just go right in. Yeah, I can see this happening.
He's slow walking it, baby. Here he comes, and I like this. If you look at the production tab for Jaedong, he's going, wait a second, this is annoyingly at the right time, so he's building 5 spine crawlers, and that is exactly the right call.
Oh, and there's a nice counterattack. Is that going to pull him back? He's going to go after...
no, it's not pulling back, but he should have, I thought. I mean, look what's happening. He's just going for it. He's going across the map.
He is, and the Mutas are starting to deplete just a little bit. And
what? Oh no!
How did you get so far up there?
Oh, third one! What are you doing?
No, how the heck? Oh, he did manage to at least dump those out, but there's so many spines right there. They're going to take a little bit of damage. Mutas are on their way back. Obviously a mistake, but will it be something that he'll be able to do? I mean, think about how much energy lost it now. He can transfuse these Roaches for quite a while, and more did come in. So, although a very, very costly mistake, is it? Well, with the Infestors coming out for Jaedong.
Changes a little bit, doesn't it? The Mulus got wasted. They should have just been at the natural, like trying to kill that, I think. I don't know. I don't know what the Queen's add behind this. The Infestors for Jaedong have depleted most of their energy. And on that production, he's got 23 Roaches coming in. Never mind. I'm sorry. I should have looked up that a mile ago.
Yeah, here come, I mean, the third's going to be killed, but yeah, it's not. With here they all come right there. Boom. Does he have any fungals left? Doesn't look like it, but I don't think it matters.
No,
I mean,
more importantly, Goswser doesn't have any fungals or anything.
Right. And his Queen energy is all but gone. So I kind of feel like Jaedong can just move up, and no, he's just going to counterattack. Oh, no, here he's going to come back. He has to. He has to. He should not be losing those Infestors.
He doesn't want them to get away, I guess is what he's doing there. I'm not quite sure why he went to the tower, to be honest with you, but it did cost him a few infests. All the queens will go down. Third going down for both players. Goswser, however, is going to be more of a pipe dream than anything. There's no way he holds that.
Oh yeah, I think Jaedong's going to be tying this up, no problem. Single muta, Murray, the mutalist.
We'll come back to that in a few moments.
Yeah. Just be like,
I've got my work cut out for me.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
All right, and here we go, more. Now there
Oh,
are
no,
fungals
he
coming
can't
out here.
fight there.
Oh!
Oh, that's the mega fungal, man. He's got to get out.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
Goswser needed that so badly, Jeff. So
Yes, he
badly.
did. Yes, he did.
And you know, I'm a bit surprised, especially there's no vision.
Yes.
Oh, there is vision over here. Why didn't he?
It's just bad. There's no other way
Why
to say
didn't he
it.
go for the third?
You lose an infestor in the pursuit. This fourth should get canceled, and all of a sudden, while he's still ahead in supply, it becomes now a like, wait a second, do I now maybe lose my third? I don't think so. But it should have been a third easy kill. And that's the problem I have. That's one of the most classic mistakes you can make is to just try to pop up a ramp when a guy's showing you infestors already. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, there are going to be a couple fungals here. Is Goswser going to make the same mistake? He should not. He needs to be really careful about his engagement here, and he
trying on
will.
the ramp as well. I don't get that. He's going to eat it bad. This is like the worst fight imaginable for Goswser.
+1 versus +1 right here, and yeah, the
Worst fight imaginable.
I am not after you gain such huge ground right there.
He's like, I just killed that fourth uncontested.
He's like, I can't believe you walked up that ramp.
Maybe.
And then all of a sudden, he just walks up the ramp.
Jaedong made a big mistake, so Goswser pays homage and it's like,
I should
gives
probably
it back to him. It's all about honor with these guys, you know what I mean?
No.
He owed him units for free.
Third is going to get up for Jaedong. But let's just take a look at the Army. 125, 144. Army supply about even.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Not that bad. I really felt like when he went up the ramp, that was the time where his army was insurmountably larger than Goswser. I mean, he could have killed the third for free, and then he has a third and a fourth behind that with a bigger army. It's completely lights out. Going up the ramp, it equalized things a little bit. Had Goswser not tried to do the same, I feel like Goswser would be in this position much more powerful. But as it is, definitely advantage Jaedong, not as much, but we got ourselves a game here.
No, we do. We're going definitely past the 20-minute mark, I think, at this point. The fourth base is about ready to hit the halfway point for Jaedong. And Goswser has pretty much given up all map control, too, and that was one thing he gained after that little blunder. God, I hate that word. I don't even know why I said it. After that mistake from Jaedong.
It's in my brain now. Now I'm going to say it. I haven't said it all weekend long.
I haven't said it either. I never say it. I don't even know where it came from.
I've been known to say it one or two times, unfortunately. But
that's okay.
Uh-oh. That's yours going back and forth.
Yeah,
anyways,
me too.
Hydros are being added
that.
from the pink Zerg here. From Goswser, I think that's interesting.
There we go.
Because he doesn't have full saturation as third. I mean, he just barely is getting to a point where he can start to afford spending his money on the cool stuff. But he's saying, no, I want Hydros right now. Jaedong doing the same as well, just slower than him. But I feel like if you're ever behind, which I really feel like Goswser was, I think Zerg should just make more infestors. I really feel like, yeah, Hydros would be nice, but only if you're on equal footing or ahead. But I'd like to have 30 infestors, and they are good against everything. Just, I don't know. I'm not a Zerg, though, so that's me just offering speculation more than anything.
Well, I mean, when you consider the positioning on this map, I think you're right, because what do? You either spend all the time coming up here where it's still a choke, or you go up the ramp here or here where you're going to get killed, like is exactly what happened. So I think that would have been a viable strategy. Now, big differences here is that there is no burrow for Goswser, and I've noticed that Jaedong, I mean, versus doesn't matter, burrow.
No, exactly.
It's, you know, and I personally love to say, here's a nice counterattack for some Zerglings coming in. Going to go directly into the main, get some queens, but, you know, that's going to be a pain to deal with. I'm not sure what's about to pop out here. Some Hydras, but that ends up being a really, really nice little counterattack.
Great on the information, sees if there's a hive or not, sees if there is going to be a Brewler transition, sees the Hydros coming out, and you know what? In a lot of scenarios too, kills a couple of queens, which is ungodly annoying actually at this stage, because it's not necessarily the macro aspect that you're worried about, it's more the production Because you're going to have a bank, or you should.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is kind of crazy as Goswser starts to move out. He gets a ton of roaches inside the main base of his opponent. He moved everything back here. There's really, really light ground support, but the damage potential that Jaedong could do here, as we see the natural go down there, he finally brings it back. And
Ghosty's trying to return the favor with the natural here. I mean, a lot of the main here is going to go down. There's a couple of fights at the same time. Infestor versus Infestor. There are beach balls and fungals going down everywhere.
And we've got two different fights going on. Yep. And I believe the Roach Warren has been eliminated by Jaedong. The Infested Terror's now going to fall. Jaedong wins that at his natural, starting to move back as it finally gets cleaned up. Use the Overseer to find those burrow. Did kill anything else that didn't see it? Definitely saw the Roach Warren eliminated. Do I see
the
a
Queen went down, the natural's gone. Third's still mining healthily, but there is a 50 supply difference between these two, and that's not going to get any better for Goswser. It's going to get worse. The supply will continue to grow. Yeah, 2 bases down as well. So, yeah, Goswser has the Hydras, he has the Infestors. He has the makings of an army, but there's no support behind it. He will not be banking money, and Jaedong is in the driver's seat.
1-2 for Jaedong. Over on the other side, 1-2 for Goswser as well. He has to stack that hatchery, which puts him on officially 1 base. Gas intake is going to be... He what?
He can't attack up the ramp, and Goswser can't come down the ramp, actually. Both these guys kind of...
Yeah, and you think... a lot of that energy was used on the Infested Terrans at the attack for Jaedong. And oh my goodness.
So annoying.
Hey, do you like to build units?
No.
Not anymore, you don't. Oh, maybe Infestors or Zerglings, but that is not going to be what he needs. Oh, or maybe not Infestors, Jeff.
Not even that.
He's going to get it.
Yeah, he will get that. Probably get the Queens too, to be honest with you. Maybe not. Probably
No, it's Zerglings.
So it's 4 base Jaedong with production buildings versus 1 mining base and soon to be a Roach Warren at least.
Yeah.
80, 70 supply difference. I mean, I'll tell you what, if Goswser wins this, I will personally get up, walk over, and kiss him on the brow.
All right, I will.
And then I'll whisper in his ear, "You're really good at Starcraft," and I'll walk away.
And not know what is going on. Biggest difference here is the Infestor count for Goswser. 13, a little bit more energy, but here we go. What will inevitably be the final battle here, because there's not much in terms of reinforcement for Goswser. It's mostly Jaedong blue right here. All that's left is the Infestors. Out come a few roaches.
Good fungals.
Yeah.
Goswser doing the best he can with what he's got, but unfortunately he has ran mostly dry, and Jaedong is not.
Yeah, now it's just DPS run. There it is, GG.